Class, our topic for today is cash and cash equivalents. In the board exam for this topic, ang usual na question is, as of December 31, how much is the balance of your cash and cash equivalents? Therefore, ang technique sa topic na to is to know which items are included or excluded from cash and cash equivalents. Doon iikot yung magiging discussion natin. Are you ready? Alright, let's start. We have two types of cash. Cash on hand and cash in bank. Sir, ano ba mga examples of cash on hand? Number one is coins and currencies. When you say coins, yan yung 1 peso coin, 5 pesos, 10 pesos. When you say currencies, yan yung mga bills. 20 peso bill, 50 pesos, 100, 500, and 1,000. Coins and currencies are included in your cash on hand. Next is petty cash fund. Meron tayong separate discussion for petty cash fund. But basically, yung petty cash fund, yun yung cash ng business that is used for small and minor expenses. For example, bibili tayo ng office supplies. O kaya naman, magbabayad tayo for transpo. Petty cash fund na lang yung gamitin natin. Babalikan natin yan. Next is undeposited collections. Sir, ano naman yung undeposited collections? For example, class, meron tayong customer. Nagbayad sa atin, 5,000 pesos. And then, tomorrow pa natin i-deposit sa bank. As of today, yung 5,000 pesos na yun is considered as cash on hand. Tomorrow, pag na-deposit na natin sa bank, magiging cash in bank na. Right? And last one is money order. Sir, ano naman yung money order? Class, siguro familiar kayo sa mga remittance centers. For example, Western Union, Cebuana Luwilier, M. Luwilier, Palawan Pawn Shop, mga ganyan. Ganito nag-work yung money order. Let's say meron tayong customer based in Davao. And then, babayaran tayo ni customer, 10,000 pesos. Ang pwedeng gawin ni customer, pupunta siya sa remittance center, let's say Western Union, magre-request siya ng money order for 10,000. And then, yung 10,000 na yan, ipapadala sa atin yan, let's say tayo si ABC Company, located in Quezon City, ipapadala sa atin yan. Yan. Kailangan alam natin yung reference number ng money order na yan bago natin maklaim yung 10,000 pesos. Ang tawag dito kay customer, siya si sender. Ang tawag sa atin, tayo si recipient. Ang advantage ng money order, pwede kang magpadala ng pera kahit wala kang bank account. Right? Coins and currencies, petty cash fund, undeposited collections, money order, these are examples of cash on hand. Let's go to cash in bank. Pagsabayan na natin yung first two items, savings deposit and demand deposit. Pag nag-open ka ng bank account, let's say sa BDO, yun na lang gamitin natin example, pwedeng savings or demand deposit. And take note class na ang ibang tawag sa demand deposit is checking or current account. So pag nabasa mo, demand, checking, or current, magkakamukha lang ibig sabihin nun. Alright? Now, sir, ano ba difference ng savings and demand deposit? Pag nag-open ka ng savings deposit, bibigyan ka ni BDO ng ATM. Pag nag-open ka ng demand deposit, bibigyan ka ng passbook plus checks or mga cheque. Yung checks na yan, pwede mong ipambayad yan. For example, tayo sa ABC, pwede tayo magbayad kay supplier using checks. Let's say 10,000 pesos. Ngayon, si supplier, pag na-receive niya yung check sa atin, ang pwede niyang gawin dyan is i-deposit niyan sa bank account niya. Let's say, ang bank account niya is BPI, Metrobank, BDO. So, ang mangyayari doon, pag dineposit ni supplier yung check sa bank account niya, yung 10,000 pesos matatransfer from our bank account to the supplier's bank account. Or, ang pwedeng gawin ni supplier, i-encash niya yung check. Pag in-encash niya yan, actual 10,000 pesos yung marireceive ni supplier. Clear? Okay. Now, ganoon nag-work yung checks na yan. And take note class na both savings and demand deposit are interest-bearing. Ibig sabihin, nag-earn tayo ng interest dyan. Okay? Savings deposit and demand deposit, they're included in your cash in bank. Let's go to number 3. Checks received from customers. Take note, tayo yung naka-receive. Dun sa demand deposit, tayo yung nag-issue. This time, tayo yung naka-receive. Magkaibang point of view yan. Okay? So, ganito nangyari yung class. Si customer, nagbayad sa atin. For example, tayo sa ABC, using checks for 10,000 pesos. Ang pwede natin gawin sa check, again, pwede natin i-deposit sa sariling bank account natin or pwede natin i-encash. Ganyan nag-work yan. Now, for board exam purposes, meron tayong 4 types of checks. First one is personal check. Sir, ano yung personal check? Yung in-illustrate ko na yan. Personal check yan. Okay? And personal checks are the most common. Yan yung usually ginagamit in everyday business operations. Si customer, magbabayad ng check sa atin, pwede natin i-deposit or pwedeng i-encash. That's how personal checks work. Okay? Now, ang disadvantage ng personal checks is si customer baka wala talaga siyang 10,000 pesos sa bank account niya. Nag-issue ng check sa atin si customer. Ngayon, pag in-encash mo, possible na wala pala talagang 10,000 sa bank account si customer. Siguro narinig nyo na yung tumalbog yung cheque. Ganun yun. Okay? Now, para ma-eliminate natin yung risk na yun, pwedeng gumamit ng second type of check. Ang tawag dito, class, is certified check. Sir, paano nangyayari dyan sa certified check? Sa certified check, merong verification process muna. For example, si customer nag-issue ng check sa atin. Yung banko, let's say si BDO, i-double check niya muna kung talagang may 10,000 pesos si customer sa bank account niya. Pag na-verify na ni BDO, ima-mark niya yung cheque ng certified or accepted. Ibig sabihin ng certified or accepted, ginagaranti ni BDO na si customer meron talagang 10,000 pesos sa bank account niya. Gets? Okay. Now, as you notice, yung certified check is a secured check compared to the personal check. Alright? Third type of check is cashier's or manager's check. Sir, paano naman nag-work yung cashier's or manager's check? Ganito yung class. Si customer, bago mag-issue ng check sa atin, papadaanin niya muna yan sa bangko. For example, si BDO. And from BDO, saka palang i-issue sa atin, si ABC. Alright? Unlike dito, from customer, diretso yung check sa atin. Kapag cashier's or manager's check, from customer to bank before natin ma-receive. Take note, kapag yung check i-issue na from BDO to sa atin, ABC, yung check na yun is under BDO's name. Alright? So technically, si BDO yung nagbabayad sa atin. So, secured yung check na yun. Alright? So that's how it works. Cashier's or manager's check. Last type of check is traveler's check. Sir, ano naman yung traveler's check? From the word itself, travelers. Ang gumagamit niyan, yung mga nito-travel abroad. For example, mga tourists. Okay? Pero nowadays, credit card na lang ang ginagamit kasi mas convenient. Pero illustrate ko pa rin kung paano nag-work yung traveler's check. Let's say si Mr. X, siya yung bida natin. Next week, pupunta siya ng US. Okay? And then 3 days after, pupunta siya ng Japan. And 3 days after, pupunta siya ng Korea. Now, ang hassle naman, if si Mr. X magdadala siya ng iba-ibang check na iba-ibang denomination, US dollars, Japanese yen, Korean won, so hassle sa kanya yan. Ang pwedeng gawin ni Mr. X, pupunta siya sa bangko, let's say si BDO, magre-request siya, magbabayad siya for traveler's check. So mag-i-issue sa kanya si BDO ng traveler's check. Prepaid yan, binabayaran muna yan ni Mr. X. Okay? Ngayon, ang advantage ng traveler's check, pag pumunta na sa different countries si Mr. X, ina-accept yung traveler's check na yun kahit anong denomination or kahit anong currency. Okay? That's what you call traveler's check. Checks received from customers, personal, certified, cashiers or managers, or traveler's check, they're included in your cash in bank. Last one, bank draft. Sir, ano naman yung bank draft na yan? Bank drafts are used for large purchases. Large purchases. Okay? For example, class, bibili ka ng kondo. Okay naman, sasakyan. So, malakihang amount yan. Pwedeng bank draft yung gamitin mo dyan. Okay? Let's say si Mr. X, bibili siya ng kondo for 10 million. Ngayon, ayaw ni Mr. X na actual cash yung ibayad niya. And let's say si Mr. X wala rin siyang cheque. So, pwede siyang gumamit ng bank draft. Ganito mangyayari dyan, class. Magre-request siya ng bank draft kay BDO. And then, ang gagawin ni BDO, i-double check niya kung si Mr. X may 10 million ba talaga dun sa bank account niya. Pag may 10 million si Mr. X, ita-transfer ni BDO from bank account to bank draft yung 10 million. Alright? So magre-request si Mr. X ng 10 million na bank draft. Double check ni BDO kung meron and then ita-transfer yung 10 million to bank draft. Ngayon, yung bank draft na yung class, iyan yung gagamitin ni Mr. X para bayaran yung seller ng condominium. Gets ba yan? Ulitin ko. Si Mr. X, gusto niya bumili ng condo. Pwede siyang mag-request ng bank draft from BDO. Ita-transfer ni BDO from bank account ni Mr. X to bank draft. I-issuean siya ng bank draft, iyon yung ipambabayad ni Mr. X dun sa seller ng condominium. Alright? Savings deposit, demand deposit, checks received from customers, bank draft, they're included in your cash in bank. Let's go to the last one. Cash equivalents. Sir, ano naman yung cash equivalents na yan? According to the standards, cash equivalents are short-term, highly liquid investments that are readily convertible into cash. Ito yung definition ng cash equivalents in the standards. Now, ang magka-qualify sa cash equivalents are debt instruments acquired 3 months or less before maturity. Ulitin ko, ang magka-qualify lang for cash equivalents are debt instruments acquired 3 months or less. So meron tayong 2 key points dito. Una, debt instruments, and second is 3 months. Dalawang klase lang naman klase ng instruments. Pwedeng debt instruments or equity instruments. Sir, ano yung difference yung dalawa na yan? Pag debt instruments, ang na-earn natin dyan is interest. Pag naman equity instruments, ang na-earn natin, dividends. Take note, ang pwede lang debt instruments. Hindi pwedeng equity instruments. Bakit, sir? Because equity instruments, wala silang maturity date. So, hindi nila mamimit yung requirement na 3 months. Kasi nga, wala namang maturity date. So, hindi mo satisfy yung 3 months na yan. Alright? So, debt instruments, acquired 3 months or less. Iyan lang yung pwede mag-qualify as cash equivalents. Let's have some illustrations para mas malinaw. Number 1, treasury bills. Sir, ano ba yung treasury bills na yan? Yung Philippine government natin, maraming projects yan. For example, pag-construct ng MRT, o kaya pag-construct ng highway, o kaya pag-fund ng education, mga tuition fee ng state colleges and universities, yan yung mga examples ng government projects. Right now, obviously, kailangan ng cash para ma-fund yung projects na yan. And one of the ways para magkaroon ng cash si government is by issuing treasury bills. So, mag-i-issue si government ng treasury bills or what you call also T-bills sa mga investors. Sir, sino ba yung mga investors na yan? Investors can be individuals or mga companies. So, individuals, tayo pwede tayo mag-invest yan. Or yung mga companies. Obviously, ang i-invest ng mga investors na yan is cash. And yung cash na yan, yun yung gagamitin ng Philippine government para ma-fund yung mga projects. Okay? Now, in return, si Philippine government, magbabayad yan ng interest to the investors. Therefore, yung mga investors, meron silang interest income, which is considered as debt instrument because debt instruments earn interest. Kaya yung treasury bills, qualified siya as cash equivalents. Alright? Now, sir, bakit ba tinawag na treasury? Tinawag siyang treasury because ang nag-i-issue niyan is the Bureau of Treasury or BTR, which is a government agency. Okay? Treasury bills, treasury notes, and treasury bonds. Sir, bakit pare-parehong treasury yan? Kasi class, si Bureau of Treasury, nag-i-issue siya ng treasury bills, treasury notes, and treasury bonds. Ang difference lang yan is the term. Treasury bills, ang usual term nito class is 90 days or less. Treasury notes naman, ang usual term yan is 1 to 10 years. Treasury bonds, 10 years or more. Okay, yun ang yung difference nila. Sir, akala ko ba yung cash equivalents 3 months or less, bakit may 10 years dyan? Ganito yung class. So listen carefully. So imagine, ito yung treasury notes and treasury bonds. Maglagay tayo ng date. January 1, 2025, January 1, 2026, and January 1, 2027. Yung maturity date ng treasury notes and treasury bonds natin is January 1, 2027, which is 2 years from now. Okay, let's say January 1, 2025 ngayon. For example, class, January 1, 2025 natin binili yung treasury notes or treasury bonds. Ipe-present mo yun sa books mo as investments na non-current asset. Bakit non-current asset? Because yung maturity is 2 years from now. Gets? Okay. Now, what if naman, sir, binili natin yan January 1, 2026? I-report mo na yan sa books as investment pero this time, current assets. Bakit current assets? Because magmamature na yan 1 year from now. Sir, kailan yan magiging cash equivalents? Pag binili mo siya, 3 months or less. Kailan ba yung 3 months before January 1, 2027? October 1, 2026. October, November, December, that's 3 months. So, ibig sabihin, class, pag binili mo yung treasury notes and treasury bonds, within this time period, dun siya magiging considered as cash equivalents. Gets? Okay. Ulitin ko lang. Pag treasury bills, take note, 90 days or less yan. Ano ba yung 90 days? Diba 3 months yan? So, ibig sabihin, basta treasury bills, automatic cash equivalents yan. Kasi 90 days or less. Pasok siya sa definition ng cash equivalents. Alright? Pag treasury notes and treasury bonds, magiging cash equivalents lang yan. Pag binili mo siya 3 months before maturity. 3 months or less before maturity. Take note, hindi magmamatter kung ano yung original maturity. Ano ba yung original maturity nito? 2 years. Hindi magmamatter yun. Ang magmamatter kung kailan mo binili yung cash equivalent na yan. Gets? Okay. Treasury bills, treasury notes, treasury bonds. Let's go to the fourth one. Time deposit. Sir, ano naman yung time deposit? When you open a bank account, pwede yung savings deposit, demand deposit, or time deposit. Sir, ano difference ng time deposit sa savings and demand deposit? Sa time deposit, kaya mo siya tinawag na time, it's because may mga terms yan. Pwedeng 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 180, 360 days, etc. Now, ang key sa time deposit is, mawi-withdraw mo lang yung cash mo upon maturity. Ano ibig sabihin nun, sir? For example, class, ang inopen natin is 90-day time deposit. Ibig sabihin, yung cash mo, mawi-withdraw mo lang yon after 90 days. Okay? Unlike dito sa savings and demand deposit, pwede mong i-withdraw anytime yan. Di sir, ibig sabihin, mas maganda pala yung savings and demand deposit kaysa sa time deposit. Not necessarily. Because for time deposit, mas mataas yung interest niyan compared to savings and demand deposit. Alright? Now, take note na iba-iba yung terms ng time deposit. So, magka-qualify siya as cash equivalents pag 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days siya. Kasi 3 months or less. Clear? Okay, very good. Last two before we answer our handouts. Money market placement. Saan naman yung money market placement? Class, familiar ba kayo sa mga mutual funds and mga unit investment trust funds? Siguro yung may mga insurance dyan, familiar kayo dyan. Mga mutual funds na yan and unit investment trust funds, nag-i-invest yan sa portfolio of investments. Ibig sabihin ng portfolio, well, iba-iba klaseng investments. Pwedeng treasury bills, pwedeng treasury notes, pwedeng treasury bonds, or other types of investment. So, ganyan ang ginagawa ng mga mutual funds and mga UITFs. Obviously, para makapag-invest sila dyan, kailangan nila ng cash. Saan sila kukuha ng cash? From different investors. Let's say si Mr. X, mag-i-invest dyan sa mutual funds and UITFs. Mag-invest siya ng cash. Yung cash na yan, iyon yung ipang-i-invest nila sa portfolio. Tama? In return, kikita sila dyan ng interest. And yung interest na yan, iyan yung marireceive natin from the mutual funds and UITFs. Kaya siya considered as cash equivalent because nag-earn tayo ng interest. Debt instruments, nag-earn ng interest, di ba? Iyon yung cash equivalents. Ayun. Kaya yung money market placement is considered as cash equivalent. Now, sir, paano naman kikita dyan yung mutual funds and UITFs? Usually, meron silang percentage. May commission sila dyan sa ma-earn dun sa investments na yan. Okay? Now, take note class na sa treasury bills, treasury notes, and treasury bonds, tayo yung diretso nag-i-invest dyan. Pero sa money market placement, dumadaan muna yan sa mutual funds and UITFs bago mag-invest dun sa treasury bills, treasury notes, and treasury bonds. So, indirect siya. Sir, bakit ganun? Ba't di na tayo diretso mag-invest dyan? Because yung mutual funds and UITFs, mga investment professionals yan. So, mas knowledgeable sila sa atin pagdating sa mga investments. Mas alam nila kung ano yung magagandang investments. Alright? Sige. Last one. Commercial paper. Commercial paper class, usually ginagamit yan ng mga large corporations. Okay? For example, si SM Prime. Si SM Prime, siya basically yung may-ari ng mga SM malls. Okay? Let's say, plan niya na magtayo pa ng isang branch ng SM sa Cebu. Okay? Ngayon, maraming ways sa SM para ma-establish niya yung mall na yan. Pwedeng gamitin niya yung sarili niyang cash, pwede siya umutang sa bangko, or pwede siya mag-issue ng commercial paper. Paano nag-work dyan, sir? Commercial paper na yan, may mga different investors. For example, si Mr. X. Pwede siya mag-invest sa SM Prime through commercial paper. Po-provide siya ng cash, and then si SM Prime naman, mag-i-issue sa kanya ng commercial paper. Alright? Now, let's say si Mr. X, ang binigay niyang cash is 900. Take note, maraming investors siya na. So si Mr. X, isa sa mga investors. At maturity date, si SM Prime, ang ibabayad kay Mr. X is 1,000 pesos. Ang invest ni Mr. X is 900. Ang na-receive niya at maturity is 1,000. Yung 100 peso difference na yun represents interest income. Okay? Kaya si commercial paper, qualified din siya as cash equivalents. Yung cash na marireceive ni SM Prime from different investors, yun yung gagamitin niya para mag-start ng another branch ng SM. Okay? Cash on hand, cash in bank, and cash equivalents. Class, yan lang yung mga kailangan yung tandaan, and I assure you, lahat ng questions about cash and cash equivalents, kayang-kaya natin masagutan. If you notice, sa discussion natin, nagbigay ako ng illustration per item. Kasi napansin ko, ang tendency for CPA reviews and BSA students is to memorize. For example, money order, uy, cash on hand yan. Commercial paper, uy, cash equivalent yan. Dapat hindi ganun. Dapat alam niyo yung reason kung bakit sila included in cash and cash equivalents. Kaya nagbigay ako ng illustration para mas madali nyo maintindihan at ma-retain yung mga concepts. In Pinnacle, for our review for the CPA board exam, zero-based discussion dito. Meaning, lahat ng topics in the board exam, i-discuss natin in detail, but in the most efficient and effective way. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi mahaba yung videos natin. Kasi pag sobrang haba ng mga videos, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, very inefficient, very ineffective. Mauubos yung oras nyo. Aside sa information overload, hindi mo ma-absorb, hindi mo ma-retain yung mga concepts kapag sobrang haba ng mga videos. In Pinnacle, we are after quality over quantity. At sa mga mag-e-enroll sa Pinnacle, may libre kayong workout program from Sir Brad. Okay? Anyway, so let's apply the concepts. Sagutan natin yung handouts. Let's start with problem solving, and then later, magsagot tayo ng mga theory questions. Let's go to problem number 1. Let's take a look at the question. What total amount should be reported as cash at year-end? Take note, ang tanong is cash. Ibig sabihin, huwag mong isasama yung cash equivalent. Ang kasama lang is cash on hand and cash in bank. Clear? Pag ang tanong is cash on hand and cash in bank lang yan. Kailan, sir, isasama yung cash equivalent? Kapag ang question is, how much is cash and cash equivalents? Gets? Okay. Let's read the given. Pinnacle Company provided the following information at year-end comprising the cash account. First item, cash in bank demand deposit, 5 million. Obviously, kasama yan sa cash. So, lagay natin dito, cash in bank, 5 million. Next item, cash on hand, yes. Kasama yan sa cash, 400,000. Next item is postage stamps unused. Mga postage stamps, take note, ang classification yan is supplies. Huwag mo isasama sa cash yan. Okay, supplies yan. Next item is 90-day certificate of time deposit. Uy, time deposit, 90 days. Okay sana, kaya lang cash equivalent yan. Ang tanong sa atin is cash. Okay, huwag mo isasama yan. Money order. Yun. Kasama yan. Money order amounting to 50,000. And then, manager's check. Oh, nagbigay pa tayo ng illustration kanina. For manager's check, that is 100,000. Traveler's check. Nandito rin yan. 1 million, and then post-dated customer check. Sir, ano ibig sabihin niyan? Pag sinabing post-dated customer check, ibig sabihin niyang class, si customer nag-issue ng check sa atin. Pero post-dated, ibig sabihin dated in the future. So para mas ma-visualize nyo, imagine nyo, ito yung timeline natin. December 31, which is our year-end, and then nag-issue ng post-dated check si customer. Again, pag post-dated, kaya tinawag na post, dated in the future. For example, yung check is dated January 5. As of December 31, ang classification nun is still accounts receivable. Bakit, sir? Kasi as of December 31, hindi mo pa pwedeng i-encash yung check na yun. Kasi dated siya sa January 5. Kailan siya magiging cash? Sa January 5. Okay, dyan siya magiging cash. Because on January 5, pwede mo nang i-encash yung check. Gets? So pag post-dated check, again, as of December 31, accounts receivable yan. Kailan siya magiging cash? Pag pwede mo na siyang i-encash. Huwag mo isasama yung post-dated check dito. So let's compute. Okay, 5 million plus 400,000 plus 50,000 plus 100,000 plus 1 million. Answer here is letter C, 6,550,000. For number 1, answer natin letter C. Let's go to problem number 2. What is the correct cash balance to be reported in the statement of financial position? Okay, let's read the given. Pinnacle Company shows the following account balances in their financial records. First item, checking account. Checking account is also your demand deposit. So, kasama yan. Lagyan natin checking account, 500,000. Next item is payroll account at security bank. Plus, pag payroll account, ang ibig sabihin yan, iyan yung bank account para sa pagpapasweldo sa mga employees. Okay? Yung payroll account can be either savings or demand deposit. So, kasama yan. Payroll account amounting to 100,000. Next item is employees post-dated checks. Oh, na-explain ko na earlier. Pag post-dated, dated in the future. Therefore, as of December 31, receivable yan. Okay, huwag mo isasama sa cash yan. Next item is IOU from company president. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng IOU? Literally, ang ibig sabihin yan, may utang sa atin yung company president kaya IOU. Alright? So, anong nangyari dito, class? Nag-cash advance tayo kay company president. So, sa books natin, meron tayong receivable from the president. Huwag mo isasama yan as cash. Okay? Traveler's check. Oh, meron yan. Okay, traveler's check. Kasama yan. That is 66,000. No sufficient funds check or NSF check. Sir, ano ibig sabihin yan? Pag sinabing NSF check, class, si customer nag-issue ng check sa atin, let's say 10,000, and then, nung dine-deposit natin or ini-encash, wala pala talagang 10,000 si customer. Iyan yung sinabi ko kayo na tumalbog yung cheque. Okay? NSF check yun. Ngayon, class, yung NSF check, as of December 31, again, sa illustration natin, wala pang 10,000 si customer talaga sa bank account niya. Therefore, as of December 31, accounts receivable pa rin yan. Hindi pa bayad si customer sa atin. Gets? Sir, kailan siya magiging cash? Kailangan mag-reissue si customer ng check at kailangan meron na siyang 10,000 dun sa bank account niya. Okay? Pag may encash na natin, dun pa lang siya pwede maging cash. Pero as of December 31, yung NSF na yan, accounts receivable yan. So, huwag mo isasama yan. Cashier's checks, kasama yan. Cashier's or manager's checks. Lagay natin dyan, that is 36,000. Just compute the total, 500,000 plus 100,000 plus 66,000 plus 36,000. Answer here, 702,000, letter C. Easy. Sir, dali lang pala yan. Madali lang yan. As long as alam mo yung components of cash and cash equivalents, madali lang sagutan yung mga questions na yan. Alright, let's go to problem number 3. As you notice, marami tayong questions na sagutan for cash and cash equivalents para talagang ma-master nyo yung topic na to. Okay, number 3. What total amount should be reported as cash and cash equivalents on December 31? Take note, class, na for number 3, ang tinanong sa atin is cash and cash equivalents. Therefore, isasama mo na yung cash equivalents. As compared to the first two problems, cash lang yung tinanong sa atin. Clear? Okay. Mr. Accounting Company had the following account balances on December 31. First item is petty cash fund. Kasama ba yan? Yes. Petty cash fund. Yun, kasama yan. So, lagay natin, petty cash fund, 40,000. Next item, cash on hand. Obviously, kasama yan. That is 500,000. Cash in bank, current account. Yes, current account. Again, yan yung checking or demand deposit. So, kasama yan. Lagay natin 4 million. Next is payroll account. Again, yung payroll account, pwedeng savings, pwedeng demand deposit. So, kasama yan, 1 million. 60-day time deposit. Sasama mo ba yung time deposit? 60-day time deposit? Answer is yes. Because ang tanong sa atin is cash and cash equivalents. Yung time deposit, para mag-qualify siya as cash equivalent, 30, 60, or 90 days. Para pumasok siya dun sa 3 months or less. Right? So, lagay natin dito, class, time deposit, 2 million. Alright, dun sa next item, cash in bank restricted for plant addition, expected to be disbursed in early 2026. Okay, so ibig sabihin, naka-restrict yung cash. Gagamitin daw yung cash para pambili ng plant PPE, para pambili ng PPE next year. So, ano yung magiging classification nun? Very important concept, class. For an item to be considered as cash and cash equivalent, it must be unrestricted. Okay, ano ibig sabihin ng unrestricted? Pwede natin magamit anytime. Readily available for use. In this case, nakalagay dyan, restricted for plant addition. Ibig sabihin, hindi mo magagamit. Pag restricted, wag mo isasama sa cash and cash equivalents. Okay? So, ano ba yung classification yan? Depende. Sabi dyan, bibili mo na daw yung plant next year. Therefore, yung 500,000 na yan, ipe-present mo as other current assets. Kasi next year mo na gagamitin. But, ang important is, wag mo siyang isasama as cash. Okay? Next item, cash in sinking fund set aside for bonds payable due June 30 next year. Okay, ito pa isa. Ni-restrict siya, so it means automatic hindi siya kasama sa cash and cash equivalents. Okay? Kailan gagamitin? Next year, babayaran yung bonds payable. Therefore, yung 1.5 million na yan, other current assets yan. Clear? Okay. Next, the cash on hand. Asan yung cash on hand? Ito, yung 500,000 included a 100,000 check payable to the entity dated January 31. December 31 ngayon, dated sa January 31 pa yung check. Ibig sabihin, post-dated check. Alam natin, AR yun. So, tanggalin natin dito yan kasi nandito daw sa 500,000. So, minus 100, this is 400,000. Alright, so let's compute the total. 40,000 plus 400,000 plus 4 million plus 1 million plus 2 million. Answer here, letter D, 7,440,000. Letter D for number 3. Let's go to number 4. Okay, question is, what total amount should be reported as cash on December 31? Let's read the given. Mastery company had the following account balances. Cash in bank, o syempre kasama yan sa cash. Lagay natin, cash in bank, 250,000. And then, cash on hand, kasama rin sa cash yan, 125,000. Next item, cash restricted for addition to plant for next year. Ni-restrict mo para pambili ng PPE next year. Again, restricted, hindi yan kasama sa cash. Okay? So, huwag mo isasama yan. Next item, cash in bank included 600,000 of compensating balance. Nasaan yung cash in bank? Ito, yung 250,000. Included 600,000 of compensating balance against short-term borrowing arrangement. The compensating balance is not legally restricted as to withdrawal. Sir, ano ibig sabihin ng compensating balance? So, discuss natin, mabilis lang. Compensating balance arises whenever meron tayong loan from a bank. Okay? So, for example, class, nag-loan tayo from BPI. Ayan. Pinaloan tayo sa ABC. Okay? Let's say amounting to 1 million. And then, ang naging agreement is, sige, may 10% na compensating balance. Ano ba yung 10% ng 1 million? 100,000. Okay? So, it means yung 100,000 CB na lang for compensating balance, ibig sabihin, class, dapat i-maintain natin yan sa bank account natin. Okay? Generally, hindi pwedeng i-withdraw yan. So, nagsiserve yan as protection ni BPI para siguradong mabayaran siya. Okay? Yun yung compensating balance. Now, paano siya yung accounting yan? Ganito yan, class. Tignan mo muna if the compensating balance is legally restricted or not legally restricted. Okay? Ngayon, pag not legally restricted, ibig sabihin yung class, unrestricted yan. Tama? Meaning, yung 100,000 na yan, pwede mo siyang i-present as cash. Cash yung classification yan. Ngayon, pag legally restricted, ibig sabihin, hindi mo pwedeng i-withdraw. Okay? Tignan mo kung ano yung nature ng loan. Okay? Pag yung loan is short-term, yung 100,000, ipe-present mo as other current assets. Imi-mirror mo. Pag naman long-term yung loan, ibig sabihin ng long-term, more than 1 year, ipe-present mo yung 100,000 as non-current asset. Clear? Okay, good. I-mini-mirror lang natin. Ulitin ko, pag not legally restricted, unrestricted, so cash yun. Pag legally restricted, tignan mo yung nature ng loan. Pag short-term, yung 100,000 na compensating balance mo, current asset yan. Pag long-term yung loan, yung compensating balance mo is also non-current asset. Okay? So, pag bumalik tayo dun sa problem, nakalagay, cash in bank included, yung 2,250, included 600,000 of compensating balance against short-term borrowing, yun yung loan. The compensating balance is not legally restricted. Ibig sabihin, cash in bank yan. Okay? So tama lang na nandito siya. Hindi na natin kailangan tanggalin yan. Tatanggalin mo lang yan pag legally restricted. What total amount should be reported as cash? So add lang natin. 250,000 plus 125,000. Answer mo dito, class, is letter C, 2,375,000. For problem number 4. Okay? Sige, practice pa tayo. Let's go to problem number 5. Question for number 5 is, in its December 31 statement of financial position, how much should Pinnacle report as cash? Alright, so let's take a look at the given. Pinnacle Company's checkbook balance. Pag sinabing checkbook, hindi yung passbook. So, ibig sabihin, cash in bank yan, was 160,000. So, lagay natin. Yung, for number 5, meron tayong unadjusted cash in bank, which is 160,000. Tingnan natin, class, kung may mga adjustments. On the same date, Pinnacle held the following items in safe. Item A, a 5,000 check payable to Pinnacle dated January 2 was not included in the December 31 checkbook balance. So, tingnan natin, class. Tama ba dated January 2, December 31 na yan? Tama ba yung letter A na yan? It means post-dated check yan. Tama? Ngayon, yung post-dated check, should you include or exclude that from cash? Exclude dapat yan. Ang nakalagay dyan, not included. So, tama lang yung ginawa ng company. Okay? So, wala tayong adjustment for letter A. Okay? Because post-dated siya, dapat wala siya dyan. Ang nakalagay, not included. So, tama lang. Letter B. A 3,500 check payable to Pinnacle that was deposited on December 19 and included in the December 31 checkbook balance, so nandito daw, nasa 160, was returned by the bank on December 30, marked NSF. Alam natin, pag NSF, AR yan. Okay? The check was redeposited on January 2 and cleared on January 9. Kailan siya magiging cash? Magiging cash siya sa January 9 pag clear na. Ibig sabihin na in cash na. As of December 31, AR yan. Pero ang nakalagay, included. So, nasa 160. Tanggalin mo yan kasi AR nga eh. So, minus 3,500. And last item, letter C, a 25,000 check payable to a supplier and drawn on Pinnacle's account was dated and recorded on December 31 but was not mailed until January 19. Ano ibig sabihin ng class? For letter C, this is an example of undelivered check. Okay? Now, iba naman yung point of view niyan. Kasi yung kanina, yung post-dated check and NSF, tayo yung naka-receive ng check. Dito sa undelivered check, tayo yung nag-issue kay supplier. Okay? From the word itself, undelivered, nakalagay dyan, hindi pa na bibigay kay supplier, basically. Kailan pa na mail to supplier? January 19. Okay? So, as of December 31, cash pa rin natin yung check-in na yan. Gets ba? So, as of December 31, cash yan. Kailan siya mawawala sa cash mo? Pag na-deliver mo na kay supplier. Okay? Kaya lang, nakalagay dyan, class, basahin natin ulit, a 25,000 check payable to a supplier and drawn on Pinnacle's account was dated and recorded. Ni-record na. So, as of December 31, nag-record na debit accounts payable, credit, cash. Di ba ganyan yung recording kapag nagbayad ka sa supplier? Tama? Mali yan. Kasi again, as of December 31, cash pa rin natin yan. I-reverse natin yung entry. Debit, cash, credit accounts payable. So, ibig sabihin, dagdagan natin yung cash natin. For item C, mag-plus 25,000 tayo. And then, let's compute. 160,000 minus 35 plus 25,000. Answer here is 181,500. That is letter C. 181,500 for number 5. Okay, so let's practice more. Let's go to number 6. For number 6, we have two questions. Question 1, what total amount should be reported as cash? And then question number 2 naman, what total amount should be reported as cash equivalents? So question 1 is cash, question 2 is cash equivalents. Alright, so let's read the given. ABC company had a checkbook balance on December 31 of 8 million. So that's your cash in bank. Okay? So lagay natin dyan, question 1 is cash, dito naman question 2 is cash equivalent. Okay, so 8 million, that is your cash in bank. Lagay natin, 8 million. Okay, and held the following items in the safe. First item, check payable to ABC dated January 5, included in December 31. Alam natin, post-dated check yan. So therefore, AR yan. In-include daw. So tanggalin natin. Post-dated check, minus 2 million. Next item, check payable to ABC, deposited December 20, included. So nandito yan sa 8 million. December 31 checkbook balance but returned by bank, stamp NSF. The check was redeposited January 2 and cleared January 3. Pag NSF, accounts receivable siya as of December 31. So therefore, yung NSF na yan, i-minus natin. Minus 500,000. Next item, check drawn on ABC company's account and payable to a supplier. Dated and recorded December 31 but not mailed until January 15. Ano yan? Undelivered check. Pag undelivered check, cash pa rin natin yan as of December 31. Mawawala lang yan sa cash natin pag na-deliver na natin kay supplier. Sabi dyan, ni-record daw. So, i-add back natin. Lagay natin undelivered check. Add back natin yung 1.5 million. Alright, next. Cash on hand, undeposited collections. Yes, kasama yan. Dito siya. Undeposited collections. That is 400,000. And then, petty cash fund, kasama din yan. That is 40,000. Okay, time deposit for plant expansion. Oh, may restriction. Tama, restricted for plant expansion. Huwag mo isasama sa cash and cash equivalents yan. Treasury bill, kasama yan sa cash equivalent. Pag treasury bill, 90 days or less, pasok siya sa 3 months, meaning pasok lagi yan sa cash equivalent. So, lagay natin dito sa question 2 kasi is cash equivalents. Lagay natin treasury bills amounting to 2.5 million. And then, money market placement. Uy, cash equivalent din yan. Lagay natin money market, 3 million. Last item, postage stamps. Again, supplies yan. So, huwag mo isasama yan. Okay, let's compute. For question number 1, how much is cash? 8 million minus 2 million minus 500,000 plus 1.5 million plus 400,000 plus 40,000. Answer here, 7,440,000. For question number 1, final answer, letter B or boy. Question number 2, cash equivalents, 2.5 million plus 3 million, that is 5.5 million, letter C. Alright. Let's go to number 7. 2 items na lang class for our problem solving. For number 7, we have 2 questions. Question number 1, what total amount should be reported as cash? And then question number 2, what total amount should be reported as cash equivalent? Okay, so sige. ABC company reported the following information at the end of the current year. Okay, so lagay natin question 1 is cash and then question 2 is cash equivalent. Letter A, investment in equity securities of 1 million. These securities are share investment in entities that are traded in the Philippine Stock Exchange. As a result, the shares are very actively traded. Class, nakalagay dyan shares or equity securities. Magka-qualify ba yan as cash equivalent? Answer is no. Kasi ang magka-qualify lang, debt. Debt securities or debt instruments. Okay? Pag equity, hindi yan magka-qualify. Ano ulit yung reason? Because equity securities do not have maturity dates. So, hindi niya may-meet yung requirement na 3 months or less. Clear? Okay, very good. So, ignore mo lang yung A kasi panlito lang yan. Letter B, investment securities of 2 million. These securities are government treasury bills. Okay? Purchased on December 31, at which time they had 2 months to go until they mature. Treasury bills, again, automatic cash equivalents yan. So, lagay natin dito, treasury bills, 2 million. Next item, letter C, cash of 3.4 million in the form of coin currency, savings account, checking account. Yes, cash yan. So, lagay natin siya sa question 1. 3.4 million. And then, last item, investment securities of 1.5 million. These securities are commercial papers. Okay? The term of the commercial paper is 9 months. And the instruments were purchased on December 31, at which time they had 3 months to go until they mature. Magka-qualify ba siya as cash equivalent? Yes. Because in-acquire siya 3 months before maturity. Again, hindi important yung original maturity. Nakalagay dyan 9 months. Hindi yun yung titignan mo. Ang titignan mo kailan siya in-acquire, which is 3 months or less. Okay? Therefore, yung commercial paper na yung class, magka-qualify siya as cash equivalent. So, lagay natin dyan 1.5 million. So, sagot mo sa question 1, how much is cash? 3.4 million, that is letter A. For question 2, how much daw yung cash equivalent? That is 3.5 million, letter A as well. Okay? Yan, let's go to the last item for problem solving. Problem number 8. Question 1, what is the adjusted cash in bank on December 31? And then question 2, what total amount should be reported as cash on December 31. Okay, so tignan natin. ABC Company reported the following information in relation to cash on December 31. Checkbook balance. Again, yan yung cash in bank natin. So, lagay natin last, cash in bank, which is 4 million. Letter B, undeposited collections. So, cash on hand yan. Undeposited collections. A customer check amounting to 200,000 dated January 2 was included in the December 31. Alam natin, pag post-dated check, tanggalin mo yan. Tama kasi AR pa rin yan. Tama? So, lagay natin post-dated check. Minus natin yung 200,000. And then, item D, another customer check for 500,000 deposited on December 22 was included in the checkbook balance but returned by the bank for insufficiency of funds. Ano tawag doon? NSF. Ang general rule natin for NSF, AR siya as of December 31. Tama? Kaya lang, take note sa last sentence, this check was redeposited on December 26 and cleared 2 days later. O, ganito nangyari dyan. Nag-issue siya noong December 22. Okay, and then, naging NSF check siya, pero nag-redeposit, nag-reissue ulit si customer noong December 26. Okay? And then, nag-clear daw noong December 28. 2 days later. So, it means, class, as of December 31, cash na yan. Tama? Kasi nag-clear sa December 28. Ibig sabihin, December 31, cash na yan. Okay? So, kakaiba to. Kasi yung NSF na yan, hindi na siya AR noong December 31. Kasi nag-reissue na si customer ng check. Doon sa mga previous problems na nasagutan natin, ang nangyari doon, class, after December 31, dyan nag-reissue si customer. Sa problem number 8, nag-reissue si customer before December 31 and nag-clear din before December 31. Therefore, part siya of your cash. Clear? Okay. So, ibig sabihin, class, tama lang yung sa letter D. Wala tayong adjustment dyan. Okay? Let's go to item E. A 400,000 check payable to supplier and dated and recorded on December 1 was paid on January 16. Alam natin, undelivered check yan. Pag undelivered check, cash pa rin natin yan. Okay? So, lagay natin, undelivered check. That is 400,000. Okay, let's compute. 4 million minus 200,000 plus 400,000. Answer natin for question number 1 is 4.2 million, letter B. Okay, 4.2 million, letter B. Question number 2, how much daw yung cash? Well, isama natin dyan yung cash in bank na na-compute natin for question number 1, 4.2 million. And then, isama mo yung cash on hand. Ano yung cash on hand? Yung undeposited collections. Nandun sa item B. 445,000. Okay. So, 4.2 million plus 445,000. Answer natin, class? 4,645,000. Easy. Letter A for question number 2. Okay. So, that's for problem solving. Let's now answer the theory questions. Actually, pag nasagutan mo yung mga problems, madali na sa yung mga theory. Kaya inuna natin yung problems. Theory number 1. What is the basic requirement for cash and cash equivalent? Tingin ka doon sa letter A. Unrestricted in use for current operations. Again, before an item can qualify for cash and cash equivalence, it must be unrestricted. It means readily available for use. Pwede mong gamitin anytime. A na yung sagot natin. Now, tingnan natin yung ibang choices. B. Available for the purchase of PPE. Set aside for liquidation of long-term debt. Hindi naman requirements yan. Actually, kapag sinet aside mo, restricted yun. Hindi siya magiging part of your cash. And D, deposited in bank. Hindi rin kasi may cash on hand tayo. So, ang requirement is letter A. It must be unrestricted. Theory number 2. What criterion is excluded in the definition of cash and cash equivalents? Short-term, kasama yan. Highly liquid investments, kasama yan. And third requirement is readily convertible into cash. So, ang hindi kasama yung letter C, investment in high-quality instruments. Hindi yan kasama sa definition of cash and cash equivalents. So, item number 2, answer natin letter C. Number 3, which of the following items should not be included in cash? So, pag not included, ibig sabihin, excluded. Okay? Alin daw yung excluded from cash? Letter A, coins and currency in the cash register, kasama yan. Pag coins and currencies, cash on hand yan. Money market placement. Kasama ba sa cash yan? No. Kasi yung money market, cash equivalent yan. Okay? So, boy na yung sagot mo dyan. Tignan natin yung ibang choices. Letter C, amounts on deposit in checking account. Kasama yan. And letter D, checks from other parties presently in cash register. Yes, kasama rin yan. Okay, checks received from customers. So, boy yung sagot natin, money market placement, because it's cash equivalent. Number 4, which of the following is considered cash? A, post-dated checks, hindi. AR yan. Letter B, IOUs, hindi. Receivable yan. NSF checks, hindi rin. AR yan. Answer mo dyan, personal checks received from customer. Checks received from customers, such as personal check, kasama sa cash yan. Dog yung sagot mo for number 4. Number 5, which of the following is not considered as part of cash and cash equivalents? Letter A, money market fund, kasama yan. Commercial paper, kasama. Treasury bill, yes. How about bank overdraft? Hindi yan. Iba yung bank draft. Yung bank draft kasama sa cash yan. Pag sinabing bank overdraft, ang ibig sabihin ng class, nagkaroon ka ng overpayment of checks. Ano ibig sabihin nun? For example, meron kang 10,000 sa bank. Tapos ang in-issue mo na check, pambayad kay supplier, 15,000, sobra-sobra. Kaya sa bank account mo, magkakaroon ka ng bank overdraft. Okay? And take note, ang classification ng bank overdraft is current liability. Okay? So huwag mo isasama yan. Kaya dog yung sagot natin. Yung A, B, and C, cash equivalent sila. Alright? Yung D is current liability. Okay? Number 6, all of the following can be classified as cash and cash equivalents except bank drafts, yes. Equity investments, mali na yan. Again, paano magka-qualify as cash equivalent? Dapat debt investment or debt instrument. Pag equity, walang maturity, hindi yan kasama. Okay? Boy na yung sagot mo. Letter C, loan notes held due for repayment in 90 days. Nakalagay loan notes, ibig sabihin debt security yan. Okay? 90 days, so pasok siya sa 3 months. So cash equivalent yung letter C na yan. Treasury notes, acquired and due in 60 days. Pasok din sa 3 months, so cash equivalent yan. Boy yung sagot natin for number 6. Number 7, which of the following is considered part of cash and cash equivalents? Treasury notes, treasury bonds, treasury bills, or 1-year time deposit? Treasury bills. Kasi pag treasury bills, 90 days or less yan, automatic cash equivalent yan. Yung treasury notes and treasury bonds, dapat minention sa problem na in-acquire sila 3 months before. Okay? Maturity. Yung 1-year time deposit naman, well, ang papasok lang sa cash equivalent mo, dapat 30, 60, and 90-day time deposit. Okay? So, C for number 7. What is a compensating balance? O, tingin ka dito. Punta sa letter D. Minimum deposit required to be maintained in connection with the borrowing arrangement. Yung kanina example natin, nag-loan tayo sa BPI na 1 million, 10% compensating balance. Okay? So, protection ng bank yan para dun sa loan natin. Dog for number 8. A compensating balance, letter A, must be included in cash and cash equivalent. Not always. Depende yan sa restriction. Pag not legally restricted, dun lang siya kasama. Mali na yung A. Letter B, which is legally restricted and related to long-term loan, is classified as current asset. Mali na. Dapat non-current asset. Again, imi-mirror natin. Pag long-term loan, non-current asset. Letter C, which is legally restricted, related to short-term loan, is classified as current asset. That's correct. Letter C yung sagot natin for number 9. Letter D, which is not legally restricted as to withdrawal, is classified separately as current asset. Hindi siya separately ka-classify. Isasama mo siya sa cash. Okay? So, answer for number 9 is letter C. And last item, theory number 10, under which classification is cash restricted for plant expansion reported? Again, imi-mirror mo. So, merong cash na naka-restrict para sa pagbili ng PPE. Hindi sinabi kung kailan bibili yung PPE, pero alam natin, non-current asset yung PPE. Therefore, yung cash na ni-restrict mo is also classified as non-current asset. Answer for number 10, letter C, non-current assets. That's the end of our discussion for cash and cash equivalents.